की जय। बोलो श्री कुंडलिनी माता श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Please be seated. May God bless. Come forward. The other day, I talked to you about the importance of dedication in Sahaja Yoga and the devotion that one should have. Actually, when we are close to the mountain, we can't see much of it. And that's why we don't realize the volume that is so close to us, the greatness that is facing us. This is one of the illusions that works out for people who do not realize it mentally, what they are in for. Where are they? What have they found? What is self-realization? What is its magnitude? How far they have to go? Why are they chosen? What is their purpose of life? How far they have come up? How far they can understand? All these things are beyond the grasp, and one gets stunned. One doesn't know what has happened to him when he got realization actually. That's why to understand this, is only possible if you can understand how to dedicate, how to devote yourself. If you want to analyze anything on the basis of your rationality, you are too stunned. It's beyond you. It's fantastic. It is too much. It's really beyond. Now think of it, you have got realization. Can you believe it? That you can in your lifetime. If somebody had told you this, you would never have believed it. That how can you get your realization in this earth? Of course you are seeking, because people were saying you have to seek, also you felt you have to seek. But you never thought that this will materialize like this, that you will get your realization. Then after getting realization, you could not feel what it was. As if you have dropped into the ocean and you don't know what is the dimension of this ocean. How far you have gone into it. What is it? Where are we? What is our purpose? To add up to all the mess, we become thoughtless. So you cannot even find out as to rationally what it is. So the immensity of this experience, the glory of your mother's coming, or the precious gift of your self-realization, nothing can be realized through your understanding. Try to think. What have you got? Can you measure it with your understanding? Can you understand what has happened? No, you cannot. Because rationality cannot give you the dimensions into which you have fallen. The rationality is actually broken up. There is no rationality left now anymore to even communicate as to what you have been. seeking, and where have you landed? So the only method you have got now, or only way is left to you, for a drop which has become an ocean, is to dissolve more in the ocean, so that you feel the ocean at least, and to communicate with other drops in such a way that you know the whole through all of them. So first is a complete devotion. It's very important. In this incarnation only, it is so very important, because you have got realization. If you did not have realization, all right, murmuring souls, all right, half-baked people, all right, little bit misbehaving, all right. This can be forgiven, that can be forgiven. Everything is forgiven. To look at it, everybody thinks that mother is forgiving us. But that's not the point. I am forgiving because of my own nature. But you do not take it for granted. You are harming yourself by accepting that forgiveness. If you all the time think, oh mother, you are so forgiving, please forgive me, you are already forgiven as it is. Once you call me mother, you are forgiven. But what's the advantage? You don't have any advantage of it. You are a loser. And this point, at least rationally, if you understand, then you will understand what is a devotion. So, in devotion of Sahaja Yoga, one has to realize that the things that are in Sahaja Yoga, that you have seen in Sahaja Yoga, are beyond your mind. First thing. Definitely they are beyond human conception. So on human level, you do not discuss them and you do not talk about them. But on the collective level, you can talk. And when you come to the collective level, then you have to understand that relationship with me is more established, better established, if you establish your relationships with others in a very collective and homogeneous way. As I told you, the drop becomes the ocean, and the drop has to become the ocean by dissolving all its dropness with other drops, and all the drops dropping their dropness become the ocean ultimately. So we'll see that devotion is double-edged. One is to each other and one is to your mother. So the devotion to me means actually facing to yourself. You face yourself first of all and see for yourself what are you doing. You are your own enemy. Nobody is your enemy. Your mother is not, definitely. She is not your enemy by any chance. And no bhuts are your enemies in the way, if you do not allow them, they can't be there. No evil person is your enemy because he cannot be effective if you are spiritually equipped. So you are your own enemy is decided now. The only way to get rid of that enemy of yours, you have to dedicate. Supposing you say that I have faith in Mother or in God. So you are holding on to something, isn't it? And you are discarding something. But this hold has to be very strong. Rationally, if you are at that time when you are sinking, will you rationalize whether I should hold the hand of this person who is saving is correct or not? No, your grip will be very strong. It will be extremely strong, and you will grip it with full force, with full faith that some or other save me. And that kind of a feeling should be within us, that I am a person who is sinking because of myself. And if I am to be saved, I have to be absolutely, completely submerged in Sahaja. Absolutely, I have to become one with it. then only I can be saved. Because at this level where you are realized souls of a higher level, now for a next jump, as I was saying to you, is devotion. Anything else has to be secondary under the circumstances. If it is primary and your attention is still on that, then you cannot have this second jump. First jump you have already done, you have got your realization. But from first jump to second jump, you worked hard, you have come to the second jump. In the second jump, you have to face it up. You should not feel disgusted with yourself, not dejected with yourself or nothing, but treat yourself as a separate entity. And dedication is actually turning back to yourself and looking forward towards the divine personality in you. Once there is divine personality in you, there is no problem of devotion. You will just become one with it. You start enjoying it. But this rationality is the worst thing. That plays tricks with you, which deviates you from understanding that whatever life you have led so far has been on a very material, gross life. You came out of it, you have grown out of it, you have come up. Now, to blossom, to become fragrant, you have to give up rationality. That's a binding. You have to be yourself, that's all. We should not be our own enemies, are we? So once you start facing yourself, you will like yourself. You won't feel disgusted. Because that what yourself I'm talking about is glorious, is beautiful, is without any kalank on that, is absolutely detached. But first of all, your attention has to accept it, that this detachment is my life. I'm a different personality. Detachment is my nourishment. Detach yourself. So, to develop that kind of understanding about the truth, first of all, you should absolutely fix yourself on the truth. And the truth is that you are the instrument of God, that you have got realization, that you have got a spatial awareness which people do not have. Stand on that and proclaim it. You are not to be afraid of it. You have got realization, no doubt. You have felt it. Say it, I have got realization, nothing doing, I know I am realized. Firm on that. In this expression of truth, you have to be like the light. The light asserts. It not only asserts, but it shows others also that it shines. It shows others that I am the light, that you walk in my light. And if you don't try to do it, I may burn you. So they have that, what you call that, I don't know what's the word in Tejasvita. Tejas.
Sharpness.
Sharpness of light. That Tejasvita is there, that sharpness of light. That is the proof of your truth. You are not afraid of any prime minister or any minister or any king or anyone. But this is the fact. That's the thing. I know I am a realized soul. I am the truth. If you say I am the truth, whatever you will say will be the truth. No doubt about it. Whatever you will do will be the truth. But say I am the truth. But for that, a real purification is needed about facing yourself fully in dedication. Means you are holding on to your mother. You are holding on to Sahaja Yoga. You are holding on to that truth which you have found out. And here you are facing others. Without that you cannot do it. Your source is that. You are standing on the truth. And that is such a power, such a strength. All of them, if you see, Christ had that power, Muhammad had that power, all these great people had that power. To say the truth with full courage, with that assertion that people will accept it. And they would suffer even for that. They wouldn't mind. But whatever is the truth has to be said. That's the first point. One should know about dedication, that you are dedicated fully, that you are not afraid of anyone. You are not worried about your losses. Some people have lost their heads also, completely cut their heads. People have tortured them. Some people have been taken away all their money, have been tortured in every way. But they thought this was the truth, they stood by it. Some of them were stupid fools, they stood for something that was not truth. They did. But now you know that you are standing on the truth, and for that you should be willing to sacrifice anything, so-called sacrifice, because you are not sacrificing the truth. What you are sacrificing is untruth. For that you require people of strength and courage, and not these half-baked people. You see, the morning till evening asking for forgiveness from mother. What is it? What is there to ask for forgiveness? Because I am forgiving you every moment. But what are you doing to yourself? What sort of a person you are? You think about it, that you have to stand on the truth. For that, you have to be a strong, courageous person with that sharpness, that tejasvita within you, of the light, of the beacon. But at the same time, you have to have complete dedication. Supposing there is no oil in this, it will all go off. It has to have oil. It will go off. So the dedication part is the oil in you, is the attachment, complete attachment to your source. That's the dedication. But that dedication should not give you any other ideas but of a light which shines, which corrects others, guides the path of other people. If that is not so, then the source that you are tapping is not coming to you fully, and that your light is not burning properly. So, into dedication when you go, you must not think that it is any surrendering, the so-called surrendering, that you become like a cabbage. That's the idea people have, that you become like cabbage. But you become dynamic. You become real power. Not of destruction, but of construction. I mean, for destruction you don't need much power. Only for construction you need power. For destruction, how much do you need? Very little. You can destroy the whole thing in no time. But for the construction, you really require great power. And that power, sustained power, flowing power has to be there. For that, dedication is needed. Holding on to your source of power, you have to stand firm, courageously, without any fear. That's the truth. That's the truth you have to achieve. That's very important. But this is only one side of the story. That's not sufficient. Just being the truth, the aspect of one side is there. But the other side of it is that when this source comes to you, you become the compassion. The truth and the compassion are one thing. You won't believe, but it is so. Like the wick and the oil combine to form the light. It is the burning of the oil gives you the light. In the same way, the compassion gives you the truth. There's no difference whatsoever. Only the state is different. That you cannot see the light, which is oil, and oil, which is burning. So compassion is the one which is the source as well as your stove. So from the source of compassion, you get your compassion. You see, I have seen people, they want to have compassion from me. They want that I should love them. But reflect it back. Do they love others like that? I have known people, say for one person, says harsh things to others, and comes and asks me, Mother, forgive me for that. Or does something harsh just for the whim of the mind. Mother, forgive me. But when you ask for that, I would like to know, have you given compassion to another person? Even after getting forgiveness from me, that source of forgiveness, that source of compassion, have you given compassion to others? Have you been compassionate to others? You see, it should not be one-sided. If you are taking the advantage of my compassion, it should not be one-sided, that you use it for your own benefit and forget about it. Then you will never grow. You will never grow. If you have to grow, then you must store that compassion within you. Whatever compassion I have given you, love I have given you, you must store that within you. And give that back to others.